Since we're on the topic of how you create music, let's talk about your recent project,
Yes, huh?
He Is Him. You got a few features on there. You got Finesse two times, Action Pack. It's like really like a Memphis type influence to it. Like you just been listening to them recently, or what really influenced the creation of
Um,
that tape?
well, that CD was like had another point to prove, but I didn't, because like King Me was already still going up. But I just wanted to drop, honestly. Like I was thirsty to drop. Like I'm mad I gave them that, because I didn't really like. I was so thirsty to drop, and then right after I went into like a mental breakdown, like not nothing bad. It wasn't like not like no, but I just like and then like I was already going through a lot of stuff when I dropped it, honestly, because my sister had just passed and my right hand man had just passed. All and had to carry them, I had to carry their caskets in the same week, so I don't feel like I was fully over grieving yet, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm still grieving now, but I was trying to make it seem like I was so good, like not really thinking the toll that it had on me. And right after I dropped the CD, it really started hitting me like, like ain't nothing going right. Like it's crazy. So that influence though, like even with those features, like Los and Nutty, I ain't gonna lie, we used to listen to Los and Nutty in the trap all day, me and Bloody and them, like that's just what we did. So I really got that feature for Bloody, like I knew he like cause he that's his people, like
Right.
he put me on them, so I got a feature for him, like just so he could be like, bro, he called me like, bro, you got a song with them? Like, yeah, bro, like honestly, you know what I'm saying. But I did start listening to them now. We used to listen on trap, and then Action Pack, honestly, that was just like a label thing, like the label just was like, hey, Action. But then I listened, but I actually went to his music though, and I was like, oh yeah, Action Pack, he's hard. And then Finesse that was like more of a label thing. That was like that shocked me though, like. Well, I ain't gonna say a label thing because like actually like when he had came home, he dropped the what was it? I want to say what was the first song he dropped? It wasn't Back In. It was the one before that. The first one or whatever. But he went crazy. I'm like, hold up.
It's cool when they do it.
No,
They
that's
in
the
that one.
no,
Oh,
not that
my
one. It was
bad,
the first
Finesse.
one, man. It was the first one he dropped though. Whatever one he said all type of stuff on it though. But when I heard that, I'm like, oh yeah, he up next, and like I'm like, I know he about to be out of here. Like, he ripped it so hard. I'm like, I gotta get a feature with him. Like, there's no way he just came home and he just ripped that like that. Like it had me like, yeah, I gotta get a feature. So I think he ended up I think I emailed his camp or whatever, and they ended up texting me back the price or whatever for the video. So I'm like, all right, that's decent, you know what I'm saying? And but I never did it, I'm in the house one day on the phone, just with my girl I'm talking to. I'm like, we on the FaceTime or whatever, and I get the call out of nowhere. Loud pay hit me like, yo, get up, get dressed. I'm like, what happened? He like, we about to go drop with Finesse. I'm like, oh, word? So, I'm like, dang, like, just like that. Like, yeah, we about to go drop or whatever. Boom, bam. Got that straight or whatever. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna put something in with you. He put it, we got it. We went in there, knocked it out.
What was it like being around Mob Ties? Because I made the post when you was with Jay Prince and Finesse two times, and you took the picture while y'all was in the studio. What was the energy like, and just recording around them and how he works?
It was like they, I can tell they like on the same stuff we on. Like when it comes to like like cause bro, it's bigger than the industry. Sometimes it's like street stuff, and I can tell like they on the same vibe. Like really like it was, honestly it was like everybody just was feeling each other out. Honestly, like not saying there was no bad tension in there, but you could just tell everybody was just getting a feel for each other. Like all right, like. Make sure you ain't on nothing. Make sure we ain't, it was like that. But when we dropped though, everything was good though. Once we started doing like the verses and all that, it went good. Like we sat there, listened to it, Bro was like, yeah, all right, I'm messing with it, hopped on all that. But they know though, they know about me though, cause they saw me freestyle it. They know exactly what happened. They heads, I don't care how serious they is. They serious now. I get on that. They real serious. Like they barely talking all that. But I saw them crack them smiles and all that when they heard me. When they heard me rap, they can't say they didn't. They was behind me looking because it was crazy. It was like really, and it was so crazy though because they could tell you this like it was Taj Money in the beat, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? We listened to 100 beats, bro. I could not. It was not like me. Like I could not find a beat. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I was just thinking too hard, like, cause I'm like, man, I want this song to be cold. So I'm like, man, I don't know if I was thinking too hard, but I ain't never heard the beat. I had already liked the beat, but I was like, maybe if I can't find none, this gonna have to be the beat I choose or whatever. So it's like his manager or whatever. I forgot his name though. Gang. Start with G though. That's Brody though. That's him in Miami too. He a real cool nigga though. But he came over. He like, shit, bro. If you don't want to do the song today, we don't got to do it. You know, I'm like, fuck that. What? You think I'm about to go home? And then I told the girl I was talking to, she never knew we was going in. So you think I'm about to come home?
You got to come back with a song now.
You think I'm about to choke? Like, and I'm like, hell no. So he like, you sure? He like, so Loud Pat like, no, bro, it like, because he had already did a song. He had already had his one done. Like, you know, he brought a song and let him walk one. So I had to do my, like, from scratch. So he like, he looking at me too, like, you know, everybody looking, and it's not like me because everybody know I going in and I'm be ready. I can hit any beat and be ready, but I couldn't find a beat. So he like, bro, I'm like, bro, you know, I got this. So it was like honestly, that was the most intense session, and I had my back was against the wall, like literally, like felt like I was in the ring with Floyd, like, and I had to just do something, you know, like it's like everybody looking, everybody thinking like, man, it's late. It's like 6 in the morning already. We not been in this since like 9, 10. It's like 6 in the morning. I'm like, man, I'm about to do this. So I get the beat. I'm like, Taj, put this beat on. So everybody just looking now. I'm talking about it's quiet. It's quiet. It's like, ain't nobody saying a word. Everybody just sitting there looking like, what you about to do? Like, barbecue or mildew? Hit a beat. I'm like, all right. So I get the beat. All them looking. Everybody looking. Even Finesse looking. He just straight looking at me. Everybody looking. But now my back turned because the studio, the mic in the middle of the room or whatever. And then Loud Pat's sister right there, you know, Bree, you know what I'm saying? She rap now too, that's my dog. But she's sitting right there. So I know she ain't gonna never lie to me, you know, and she a girl, you know, girls gonna give you that look.
Be brutally honest.
Brutally honest, bro. So I was like, so I get this. So when so the beat started running or whatever, and I'm listening to it, you know, and I'm doing my little mumbling to start it off, like, mess around. I just end up hitting the first part, ain't pushing no product. I was trying to force my hand, so I think I stopped at it. Might do time again, might be Boston right in rhymes again. So when I did it though, I think they still didn't really realize like I'm about to rip it, you know, because I stopped. They didn't know my process, you know. Everybody process different or whatever, so they still listening. So we end up going so it started. I ended up getting on the verse or whatever, start going in, smashing it. I stopped. I did my process. I'm like, cut it. So I'm like, they like, dang. So I know they looking. By the time we got to the end, though, and it was playing out loud, and once it was playing, everybody was just in there like, I bet, yeah, like. And I looked at Shushu.
We understand now. We hear you.
Fact. And I looked at Shushu, and that's Bree. I looked at her, she right there in front of me. She like, when I started ripping it, I looked at her, and she started smiling. I'm like, yeah, we got him. We got us a banger. I know it. And then after that, though, he ended up, Finesse know, because he got, you know, he know his process, but he give me hard verse, though, but I know he know, like, all right. This hard.
He had some competition on that one, is what it sounds like.
He knew it was hard. You know what I'm saying? He knew it was hard or whatever. So he got up. He did what he did doing, and it went like that. He dapped me up like, yeah, that's cold or whatever. We listened to it. We stepped up front, listened to it. I listened to it. You know, the first thing I did, I sent it to the girl. I'm like, I ain't supposed to send it. I'm like, man, you about to hear this. Tell me what you know. A girl gonna be honest. She like, I like it. I'm like, you sure? Like, you know, and like, she like, no, I actually like it. Like, you did your thing on it. I'm like, oh yeah, bet. We start playing it. I'm playing it. I'm like, that's a hit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that went.